This video is sponsored by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful website.
How did you get to be so confident? Someone asked me East Coast or West Coast, and honestly, what are some of the activities I can do as a student to replicate at a micro level what consultants are doing?
Hello everyone, I'm kchoi. Welcome back to my channel. I'm in LA for a little over a week because my brother and my sister-in-law had a baby a few months ago, so I came to meet my niece. Today is Wednesday, so yesterday and Monday I worked remotely from LA, worked East Coast hours on West Coast time, so I'm a little bit tired, but I have today and the rest of the week off. Just decided to take some time off so that I could actually spend some quality time with my family. Don't really have any plans today, so I'm gonna help my mom with some things around the house. I'm gonna pick up some lunch, and I asked people on Instagram to submit questions, so I'm gonna just answer some questions as I take you along my day or my morning/afternoon.
Gonna just get ready for the day. Again, I don't really have plans, but I don't know. I've just been working from home at like the butt crack of dawn, so just want to like look nice. And the first question is, how did you get to be so confident? I am someone who struggles with this. Partially, I think it's because I am 31, and so you just start to care a little bit less about what people think about you. And I also think that just having a really good support system helps a lot. So I'm very, very blessed in that I have a very supportive family and you know, a close but small group of friends. And if I ever do kind of feel insecure, or if I'm worried about like what so-and-so person is thinking about me, I just kind of go back to the people who are my, you know, my close-knit circle. And I find comfort in the fact that they know who I am and they love me and support me no matter what. Definitely doesn't just happen, and I still have moments where I don't feel super confident. The second question is, who did Christina want to be when she was 5? I think when I was 5, well, I remember in first grade, which I think you're like 6 in first grade, but anyway, I know like I wanted to be a teacher, but I don't really know if I actually wanted to be a teacher or if that's just because that was a job that I knew because I had a teacher. I don't really remember anything before that. I do remember I went through phases of wanting to be an interior designer or a National Geographic photographer or a doctor for like a second in high school. But consultant definitely wasn't on the list because I didn't even know what that was. And then a sort of related question is, what did you do, and I guess what was your target at 27 years old? I'm wondering if maybe the person who submitted this is 27 right now or is turning 27. But when I was 27, I had just started my job that I'm at currently. So I had just switched into consulting after completing my master's degree. My goal, like within those like few years, that was my goal. So I had achieved that. But before that, I don't know. I never really had a super long-term picture of what I was going to be doing. So it's not like at 20 years old, I had an idea of what I wanted to do at 27. I think my general goal was just to have a job and, you know, find something that I'm good at. So the only makeup I did was my eyebrows because I don't want to have to wash my makeup off from my eyes later today. So this is what we're working with.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, what can I get for you?
Can I get one cheeseburger with extra veggies, another cheeseburger with grilled onions, and extra pickles?
Someone asked me East Coast or West Coast, and honestly, it's like apples and oranges. Like, I'm at In-N-Out right now to get some lunch, and In-N-Out, of course, is a point of pride for people on the West Coast, especially Californians. And I remember just the whole debate of In-N-Out versus Shake Shack, but I feel like they're just so different. Like, In-N-Out is cheaper and it's more about like super fresh ingredients, and then Shake Shack has like a richer taste. That being said, LA is always going to be home for me, and I do imagine myself eventually ending up back here, but I am really, really enjoying living in New York. I'm parked, by the way, because I'm in line to pay for food. But the other question was, what are your biggest changes in your lifestyle since moving to Manhattan? Oh, we're moving. See if my camera stays. Okay. Well, I don't drive when I'm in New York, for one. I guess there's like 2 layers of this question because our previous apartment was in Queens in Long Island City, which is like literally just across the river from Manhattan. So from moving from there to Manhattan, which is where we live now, I walk in my neighborhood a lot more because Long Island City, while it has really nice apartments and it is like getting a lot of cool like
restaurants and things like that. It's just not like a very walking friendly like neighborhood in my opinion. So I walk a lot more. In terms of growing up in LA versus now living in New York, I mean, there's just like so many more things to do and you stay out later just because there are more options versus in LA, like things close, you have to drive like through traffic. So I feel like I complain a lot more now that I live in New York, especially about how there's no good Mexican food. The next question was, what are your future travel plans? Love your travel vlogs. I also love making travel vlogs, so I really hope to travel a lot in the next year. But my next trip is going to be to Germany, going to Berlin and Munich with a few of my friends because one of them is running the Berlin Marathon. If you watched my Baltimore vlog, which I will link up there, we talked a little bit about that. I have been to Berlin before, but I have never been to Munich, so I'm really excited to add a new city to my list. Going back to the New York and LA theme, another question was best Korean barbecue spots in New York and LA. To be honest, I don't really know what the Korean barbecue spots are in LA just because it's been a while since I've lived here. And also whenever I go, it's like, I don't actually know like what the names are, but I'm gonna ask my husband because he knows K-Town and LA like a lot better than I do, and I'm gonna put some on the screen here for you. For New York, I'm actually working on a video of my favorite Korean spots in New York, which includes some Korean barbecue. I would say Chongro is like the all-around like best option, but I honestly feel like there's more to explore, and I think that there are probably some really good spots in Flushing that I have not discovered or gone to yet. And can I also have a lot of yellow peppers, please? Thank you.
So while I enjoy my lunch, let's talk about today's sponsor, which is Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform to not only build a website, but to build an online presence and brand. They have beautiful templates for any type of site or occasion, plus tons of tools that make it easy to manage your website. You can host your domain, access audience analytics, use their blogging tools, schedule appointments and classes, link your social media accounts, pretty much whatever you need to run a successful site, you can probably find it on Squarespace. I love using Squarespace, and I personally think it's the easiest and best way to build a site that you know is also going to look great. So if you're interested in trying out Squarespace yourself, go to squarespace.com/kchoi to get a free trial. And when you're ready, use my code kchoi to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Details will be in the description box, so go check that out. And thank you so much to Squarespace for sponsoring this video.
Oh shit. It's a little later now. I just got back from doing some shopping with my mom and got like some random things. So some face wash from the Body Shop, got a Tangle teaser because I just need a travel brush because I keep like forgetting my brush in the bathroom or my work bag or my suitcase. So yeah, I just wanted to get another brush and designate this one as my travel brush. Got these really pretty washcloths or dishcloths from Anthropologie, and they're just like these different colorful patterns. I got an amazing deal at Banana Republic. So this shirt I got for like $13, and it's like this nice ribbed, stretchy material. And these pants, they were originally $120, on sale for $60. And then it was an extra 50% off of the sale. So I thought it was gonna be $30, but when the girl rang me up, they were $20. But they're these like linen, trousers, kind of wide leg-ish. I folded them right now because they're a little bit long, so I need to get them tailored probably. But yeah, they are so nice, and it's really hard for me to find pants that fit. I feel like a lot of people probably have that issue, but these just fit so well. And the cashier, she was saying that she really wanted to buy these, but they were too big for her. So she put them back, you know, on the display, and she told me to enjoy them, and that I'm very lucky. Anyway, let's get back to the Q&A. I have a handful of questions I'm gonna wrap up with. What are examples of good goals to set for senior consultants? I liked this question because it's been something that I've been thinking about for myself, just in terms of how I want to develop now that I'm a senior consultant, which at my firm, it goes associate consultant, consultant, senior consultant, then principal, partner, like And then there's leadership levels like VP. One of the things I'm focusing on is account growth, and particularly focusing on an account and just growing it. I just defined what account growth is by using the words. But for example, I've done several projects for the same client, and so I want to be a little bit more strategic and work with the main sponsor on the account to figure out how we can best grow our business with that client. So it's a bit of a different muscle than I have been building over the last few years, because I've really been focusing on just being a good individual contributor and not super strategic. So that is, I think, something as you get to a more senior level that is a differentiator, or is kind of there's a bit of a learning curve as you transition from just contributing as an individual and through good work into being a bit more of a strategic thinker and partner. How did you get yourself up to speed on the consulting toolkit in the first couple of months? Every firm is going to be different, of course, but at my firm, our culture is very open and warm and accepting, and I basically just put time on with people from all different departments and asked them a bunch of questions when I was first starting out. And as I was working on more and more projects, I made it a point to just ask questions throughout the way so that I understood what the process was and what the reason behind certain decisions was, and that way I could apply it as I went to my next project. So with every project I knew a little bit more. So I think asking a lot of questions is key, because you just don't know what you don't know, and you won't know unless you ask. What are some of the activities I can do as a student to replicate at a micro level what consultants are doing? I thought this was such a good question, and it's very specific, because I think in general you can say, oh, join a business club or something like that, but I don't think that's super helpful. I think if you are part of a club or an organization and you notice that something is inefficient, or just something could be done better, or there's some other challenge or issue that's happening, taking the initiative to figure out what the root cause is of that issue and then figuring out a solution for it. I feel like that is a really good example of what you could do at a micro level to replicate what consultants do, because essentially consultants are helping manage and fix different problems or challenges that an organization might have. So whether it's figuring out what the right structure of the members and the leadership of the club is, or a better way to manage the budget, being there to help figure out how to make things more efficient, I think that's a good way to get some practice in consulting. How do you manage your consulting job and YouTube? Do you have any time management tips? I get asked this question so many times, and I really don't have an answer. It's really just, I just try to get it done. I also don't think I'm the best person to answer this, because I don't have a really set routine or process. I kind of feel like I'm flying by the seat of my pants every other week. This week is especially not a good example of balancing my job and YouTube very well, because I think it's been 2 weeks since I've uploaded a YouTube video. I think when I'm at my best in terms of balancing the two, I'm doing things in little chunks so that my work doesn't get pushed. If you think about all the steps it takes to create a YouTube video, there is thinking of the idea, there's planning it out, there's possibly scripting it or storyboarding it, there's the filming of it, the editing, doing the description box, doing the thumbnail. So there's all these different components, and if I spread that out over a period of time, then I am much more successful. But once I start to skip a step or skip a day and decide to push it to another day, then I'm left with having to do 15 different steps in 1 or 2 days. So I guess my advice, if you are also trying to balance your full-time job and another side hustle or hobby, is to just break up the steps and do it over a period of time, just so it doesn't get overwhelming. And the last question is, how do you not let a demanding yet fulfilling job define everything you are? I feel like this actually relates to me doing YouTube, because my full-time job isn't the only thing that I do. I have this YouTube channel. I also have other interests like running and food and traveling. So I think having a diverse set of interests and having a group of friends who also have similar but then their own interests as well, just to keep things more interesting, no pun intended. I think that helps ground you in something other than just your job. This is so good. This is a Korean fruit soda. I mean, it basically tastes like candy, but delicious. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I know it was a bit more laid back, but as I was mentioning, it can be a little bit overwhelming to balance YouTube and my job and all of that. So I appreciate your grace in just letting me have some more chill, laid back videos once in a while. Let me know in the comments what other content you'd like to see on my channel. And with that, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.